it's Rhonda, and I am back with another Project Life Process video for you. I am working on my February layouts now, and I am loving the Hip Kit Club February kit. I think I mentioned in my January video I was a little worried that it was going to kind of be too butterfly theme. I don't allow myself to open my kits until I'm actually working on that month, so I really had no idea what was in the kit. And when I opened it, I was really so happy to see the items that were in my kit. There's a lot of paper. The ephemera pack is from Maggie Holmes' Chasing Dream collection, as well as the papers in there, and they are beautiful. There's a couple butterflies, but not nearly as many as I had originally thought, which was good because the January kit was very heavy in butterfly theme. So I was excited that February's wasn't so bad, but I think it's funny that I ended up using a butterfly tag here on my title card for February. So that is what I am working on right now. And I'm using some of the papers, the Maggie Holmes Chasing Dreams. And that tag is from the Chasing Dreams ephemera kit, as well as the collected tag and that hello. The thickers this month are a pink foam with gold glitter on top. And I just love those. They're all a lowercase letter, and I love the way they look on this layout. So I've gone ahead and I've cut all of my papers in the kit down to 4x6. That way they're a little bit easier to work with because I'll usually use them as a 4x6, cut them down to a 3x4, or I'll just trim them down a little bit so that I can create some layering elements. And that's what I did with this card. I am trying to figure out, I've got some gold twine there, and it's very thin. And when I put one strand in there, it just wasn't enough. It was very thin. So I went ahead and took that off, and then I layered up a couple pieces of the twine, and that seemed to work much better. So I went ahead and I inked the edges of that tag and the edges of the top layering piece, the paper that I have there, in the Tim Holtz chipped sapphire is what I used on that. And so those are inked up just to add a little definition. This collected tag I love, and you'll see me try and use this. I had originally kind of played with this in my head and laid it out a little bit, and the way I had it laid out, that collected tag was going to be perfect right there where it is. I underestimated how much room the February title was going to take. So I'm putting it on. I'm putting foam tape on it, thinking that I'm going to still use it. I use that hello, and then when I put the thickers down, I realized that that collected tag just isn't going to work. And I'm like bummed out. It's going to find a place somewhere, but it's just not going to work on this card. And I struggle with it and I try, but it just isn't going to work. So one of the reasons that I love this We Are Memory Keepers mat so much is that it's magnetic. And the back of that ruler has a magnet on it, so it makes it really easy to line up my ruler so that I can use it to put my titles on my card straight. So that's what I'm using right now to put down that February. And then I'm trying to see, that's just not going to work. I do want to add another little butterfly to it though. And those are the rub-ons from the January kit, the Hazelwood One Canoe 2. And I have a lot of those left. So I thought since there was a butterfly on the tag, I would try and incorporate the butterfly somehow on the card. And I ended up choosing that little tiny one and then putting it just above the hello there. And I think that looks really cute. It kind of ties in the butterfly that's on the tag there. So I'm going to go through the ephemera kit and try and figure out something else to add to this. And I can't really find anything that's going to fit there. So I grabbed the thickers that came in the kit. And these are the chipboard stickers, and they are so cute, and they tie in so well with the Chasing Dreams collection. I had to look at it a couple times to make sure that they weren't from the same kit, and they're not. But there's that little gold foil bird from the sticker, or the chipboard sticker kit, that I just loved, and I think he is the perfect addition to that card. The twine is kind of in his mouth, which is kind of, this is when the birds are starting to nest a little bit, and so I just thought it was kind of the perfect little tie-in to that. There is a bigger blue bird, kind of that looks exactly like this one in the ephemera kit, and he will make an appearance on one of my cards. I am in love with that bird. He's bigger than this one, so he's gonna, I think somehow probably gonna find his way onto a filler card, but I love him, and he will make it on my layout for this month. So this card that I'm working on right now is just a screenshot of something that I took from Facebook. I work in a bank, and it seems like pretty much from September to February, we have at least one holiday a month. After President's Day in February, it's kind of a dry spell again until Memorial Day. So I always look forward to that last 3-day weekend for a few months. So this one, you guys know I like to incorporate Disney in my layout somehow, and I thought this was super cute. It's got Mickey with a margarita with the Mickey-shaped lines on the edge of the glass. So I thought he was just perfect to add to this. And then that little flower ephemera piece came in the Chasing Dreams collection as well. So I'm just going to add that and put that on there. And then from the chipboard sticker collection, there's a little tag, gold tag that says Celebrate. So I'm going to go ahead and add that on there, and then that card will be done. So this one that I'm working on right now, I actually pulled the card and the ephemera piece from last month's kit. They were ones that I didn't end up using, and they actually are perfect for this picture. I had taken a picture of the full moon in February, and I wanted to make sure and include it in here. It was a nice picture, but for whatever reason, my moon pictures never turn out. And it's not the greatest picture, but it was that one, I think there was like an eclipse or something with it in February. So here I am looking up to see what that full moon in February is called, and it's the snow moon. So I wanted to make sure that I put that on there because it really was a pretty impressive full moon in February. So I'm just adding the tag there, and that is from an old Gossamer Blue kit that I had that I am really trying to finish up and get rid of that sheet. But so I'm just writing on there, I think it said February snow moon or something like that. And then that little gold heart comes from the chipboard kit, or the chipboard sticker sheet. And so I just left that card pretty much as it is. This card is, my friends and I went out for Taco Tuesday one night, and we ended up at this new Mexican restaurant near where we work. And they have the prettiest drinks. So they were definitely photo worthy. So that was a margarita flight that we had. And then one of my friends ordered that drink, and we never did find out what it was, but it was so pretty. It had a flower floating on it. So I just wanted to make sure and put those on here. This ends up probably not being my favorite card on this layout. I think I have pretty much one card every layout that ends up not being my favorite, and this one is it. And I think it's because I've got two pictures that I'm trying to fit on one card that are totally different sizes and totally different orientations. Like the one on the right is a portrait and the other one is a landscape, and it just doesn't end up working for me. I don't think it's aesthetically pleasing at all, but it is what it is, and I wasn't going to spend too much time on it. So I just pulled a couple pieces of ephemera from the kit and then added that tag and that heart. And then I just put pretty drinks on a Taco Tuesday, I think, and then added a tiny phrase sticker that says, "Oh, so happy." And then when I laid out my cards, I realized again, and I did this last month too, and I need to keep this in mind going forward. I have a lot of layering in those top two cards. Not a lot, but there is layering. The bottom two cards had none, and that just doesn't look good to my eye. So I went ahead and I trimmed down these cards a little bit so that I can mount them on something, just so that they kind of tied in with the other two cards and didn't look so blah. So that's what you saw me doing there, just trimming those down and then adding them to a couple of the 4x6 cards that I had cut from the papers in the kit this month. So that works a little bit better for me. So I'm going to leave those as they are. And then I'll go work on my 3x4 cards. And let's see, which one am I doing? This one I end up cutting down to a 3x4. And I'm doing some journaling. So this is one of the Becky Higgins Project Life journaling cards, and I turned it upside down because one of those ephemera pieces says, "Say yes to new adventures." And I wanted to make sure and document the fact that in February, my son and his girlfriend told us that they were moving to Arizona. So this wasn't an easy decision for them. They are thought that they would never leave Colorado, but they had really good opportunities with their job to go to Arizona. So they made the hard decision and they said yes, and they decided that they were going to move. And it was hard. It was hard for me. It was hard for them, but in the end, they love it. I'm really glad that they do. But I wanted to make sure and document that they did let us know that they were moving, and that how proud I was of them for making the tough decision to move to Arizona. So that was what that card it was. This one is just another one that I stole from Facebook. It showed up in my feed one day, and it said 64 years ago Peter Pan was released. And again, I'm a huge Disney fan, and Peter Pan is one of my favorite movies. I love the old vintage Disney movies. I love Peter Pan, I love Bambi, I love Lady and the Tramp. Those are my favorites, but Peter Pan is by far my favorite. So I thought it was kind of cool that I could print that out and add this to my Project Life as well. And again, that's another reason that I just love Project Life, because normally that's not the kind of thing that I would save and document, but because it's Project Life, I can go ahead and do that. So I'm just adding a couple of tags on here. That blue piece is a little tag, like a little movie ticket stub, and I just put that on the top of that other tag. And I added a phrase sticker that says "Leaving a Legacy," because I just thought that was perfect for that Peter Pan card. This is a picture of my daughter and my son's girlfriend. This is on a snowboarding trip that they went on in February. The kids, my son and his girlfriend, ended up moving the first weekend in March. And so right before they left, the four of them went up and had another snowboarding weekend in the mountains, so that they all got to hang out one last time before they moved. So this is a picture of the girls, and I just loved it, so I wanted to steal it and make it part of my album. So I just grabbed that camera paper, and that's in the main kit. And I knew when I saw it that I would end up cutting out some of those cameras. So this one, I went ahead and I cut out the gray camera, and then added that heart that came in the ephemera pack that says "Love You," and went ahead and just added that on there. I think I add one more little tiny chipboard heart. I always, if I have a camera on my layout somewhere, I like to put a heart in the viewfinder part of it. It's what I do. So I just went ahead and inked that up, and then that card is done as well. And I'm glad that they got to go do that one last time before the kids moved. So I wanted to make sure and document that. And then the last card I have is my selfie. I've told you guys before, I add a selfie every month. Just so that there's some documentation of, every month what I look like. Why, I don't know, but I just do, and it's what I've done in this album every month. So I may change that up when I start my next album. But this one I wanted to include because it is a selfie of me and my glasses. And I have worn contacts for years and years and years, and I ended up getting glasses, and I struggle with wearing them. I don't like the way they look, but I have been forcing myself to wear them. So I thought that a selfie of me in them would maybe make me like them a little bit more, get used to seeing them on my face. So I went ahead and added that picture. And then I'm going to add another piece from the ephemera kit that I don't think it ends up being that flower, but I think it ends up being another flower. This one's just a little bit too big, but I find another one, that one right there, the pink and the blue, and I thought that just tied in really well with this card. So I'm going to go ahead and add that on there. And then there's a chipboard sticker that says "Delight in the Everyday Moments," and I thought that was just fitting for this photo, just me trying to get used to those stupid glasses. And the worst part is they're bifocal. Ugh, yeah, it's that time. But I've actually gotten really used to them. I wear them quite a bit around the house. I just can't bring myself to wear them to work all the time, but I'm getting better with it. So, and then I'm going to add I've got a gold puffy heart that I added on there. And then I'm going to play with this layout, and I think that ends up completing this layout. So thanks you guys for joining me. I really do appreciate it. And for those of you that have subscribed, again, I really appreciate your support. I'll take all the subscribers I can get, so I really do appreciate it. And I will see you guys back soon with a part 2 of my February layout. Thanks, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.